but also on the internet, and we make YouTube videos, which is probably why we're talking on this documentary right now.
Yeah, you may know us as Amazing Phil and Dan Is Not On Fire on YouTube.
Our internet alter egos. It just kind of happened naturally for me and Phil because we were making YouTube videos, and it just happened over time. We made the videos, and then our videos got slowly more popular and just got to the point where we are now. We didn't really set out to ever go, now let's start creating a follower base or anything like that. It just grew naturally.
Before, like, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, if you said an internet person, you'd, like, imagine a slimy mole creature.
2 years ago, YouTube was a weird, odd hobby, and now it's like the most mainstream thing in the world. I mean, I think that's it. Like, the fact that me and Phil are where we are now is just that in the last couple of years, YouTube and people that make YouTube videos has just exploded as it's become way more mainstream. Well, I think that me and Phil have, like, one of the most creative groups of followers in the entire world. Like, seriously, it's like, anytime any kind of funny incident happens, like Phil accidentally setting fire something into a house, or me, like, falling off an escalator, it'll basically turn into a meme in its own right, and then it won't just be people laughing about something that happens, but people will just be, like, creating comics of it and making little videos and drawing it and stuff like that.
Also, when we were moving house, Twitters appeared for every single household object that we had.
Our followers were kind of sad and nostalgic that we were leaving the apartment that we lived together for the first year that we lived together, so then people started making Twitters like at Dan and Phil's kettle and stuff like that. It was
I followed
so
Dan
funny.
and Phil's toaster for a while. That was interesting.
Do you remember the time at VidCon? I think it was VidCon 2012, when we were going to our signing line, and then we walked into the expo hall, and then we saw all the people, and we thought that it was just a line to, like, get into the room, but then we realized it was just the line for us, and then we walked past, and then all the kind of, like, screaming things happened, which I didn't expect.
No, I did not expect that at all.
Not everybody's a screamer, but the kind of the people that would be motivated enough to go to a conference and queue up for a couple hours are probably the most passionate people. So having all of those people in one room when we walked in, all going like, oh my god, I was like, what? Whoa, this is crazy. Yeah. It was a bit like a zombie apocalypse, but in a happy way.
Like
you know what I mean?
A happy apocalypse.
Yeah, it's like I might have my limbs ripped off, but it'll be in a good place.
Yeah, they were all really nice, normal people as well. But I was just hoping that I was good enough in person for what they were expecting.
It's like, I hope I don't disappoint all of these people by just being Dan.
Does
oh my god.
Hair look good in these
Am
photos?
I enough for you? It's good to put faces to the comments, but also to realize how different everybody is. In your mind, you can think, what's the typical One Direction fan like? But when you actually go to one of these events and then you meet individual people, then it's like, actually, no, there's all these individual personalities that could be anyone from, like, a 25-year-old woman to a, like, 10-year-old boy all watching your videos. It's me sad when people label particular fan bases as angry or violent or anything.
No, because being a fan of something is a positive thing. It's you're sharing an interest with other people, so I don't think it's anything that should be labelled negative.
For me and Phil, just because we're quite chilled out people that don't really do much, it's like our fans are also very kind of like chilled out and happy, but then also quite creative. I think the thing is with One Direction, whenever a fan base gets to that point where it's so incredibly popular that sometimes there's a lot of negativity when you need to realize that, like, there's millions of people that are probably quite nice and happy.